everybody. Welcome back to my channel. We're here tonight doing a live Q&A on organization. So I'm glad if you can join us tonight. And if you're here, go ahead and type a hello in the comment section. Yay, Take Me to Tammy's House is here. Hi, Tammy. And my husband, Lauren P., is on already. So he's going to tell me if I'm centered and if everything's looking okay or if I need to adjust the camera. So what do you think, Lauren? Tonight, we're going to answer some questions. I have 4 different areas we're going to talk about organizing. And I just thought while we're waiting for people to get on, I'd give you a little bit of background about organizing. I grew up with a mom that was super duper organized. She's now 86 years old, and she's sometimes having trouble with organization, but my goodness, her house is organized inside, if you know what I mean, like the drawers and cupboards. She knows where everything is, and she taught that skill to me. So I'm so happy for that. And I'm going to share a little bit later about something I learned from her specifically on how to organize a certain area of my life. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Uh-oh, my head is chopped off. Okay, what do you think now? Is that better, Lauren? Yay, Kimberly Davis is here from Diva Designing on a Design. Diva Designing on a Dime. I got so excited. Hi, Kimberly. I'm so glad you're here. I'm doing well. Had a great day in the beautiful sunshine. So is that better, Lauren? Am I centered and is my head on the screen now? Just a little bit more. Okay. How's that look? Okay, awesome. Okay, we're going to jump right in tonight because I've got a lot to cover. First, I'm going to be talking about refrigerators. I have a subscriber, Melody Little, and I've known her for years and years. She's an awesome friend of mine, and I hope you're watching, Melody. She wanted to know how to organize a small refrigerator. So I'd like you to drop me down in the comments. If you have a small refrigerator, say small. And if you need help organizing your refrigerator, say yes. So that'll help me get a feel for who else has this issue. So if you do not have a problem organizing your refrigerator, type your favorite tip for keeping your organized refrigerator. That will help all of us, and we'll learn from each other. So I read a book years and years ago on organization, and I remember something that I learned from that book that I have used ever since, and that was to get plastic containers and put them in your refrigerator so that you can organize like things together, and then you can just pull out that bin, and the stuff that's in the back will be right at your fingertips. So that's my first tip for you tonight. I use clear. That's awesome, Kimberly. That's my first tip. So Kimberly uses clear refrigerator bins in her refrigerator. And Tammy says she does have a small refrigerator and needs help. So along the same lines as the clear bins, I also love to use Lazy Susans. Right now, I have a Lazy Susan that's actually got, it's this big is what I'm trying to say, rather than just the small one without, let's call it sideboards. I'm a trucker's daughter. So it has sideboards on, and I put my yogurts, my puddings, and different snacks like applesauce in there so they don't get spread out all over the refrigerator, and then I can twirl it around and find what I want real easy. That would also work well for condiments. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. So that would also work well for condiments, and so would the clear bins. So let's see. Debbie. Hi, Debbie. I do mini cleaning each time I go grocery shopping. Put all of the leftovers, put out all of the leftovers, etc. That's awesome. That was another thing that I was going to talk about too. That's a great tip, Debbie. Thank you. So, keeping your refrigerator clean is another tip that I was going to mention that goes along with what Debbie said. So if you spill something, try to clean it up right away. Don't leave it for the maid, especially if you don't have one like me. And try to keep on top of it. Something I'm helping my mother with now is every week we're going to go through her refrigerator and we're going to look at all the leftovers and see if they're still edible, and we're going to clean it out and we're going to remind her what she has to eat, because this is something I do for myself every time I go shopping. I go through, look and see what I have, what I need, what's spoiled, what needs to be thrown out, etc. So that's another tip for you. Not that she has a maid. Right, I am the maid. So another thing that's helped me, and I'm going to ask you a question here. I am not afraid to move my shelving around as needed. Who has shelving that they can move around? I guess some refrigerators have stationary shelving. So say yes if you can move your shelves around. I'm just curious. Sometimes we have larger items in our refrigerator if we're entertaining, or we might have a casserole that we need to bake that takes up a different size room. So don't be afraid to adjust your shelving accordingly to accommodate what you have in your refrigerator at the time. So, okay. Debbie says yes. So Debbie, have you ever moved your shelves around, and have you found that helpful? I don't know why I didn't do that until recently when I got my newest refrigerator. I guess maybe it's intimidating sometimes to move things around, but I move them around quite often now, and it's very helpful. Okay, we talked about lazy Susans. Okay, adjusting shelves. Okay, Debbie said she doesn't, she should. Good idea. Yeah, give it a try, because I don't know why I was intimidated by it, but it's really simple. You just have to empty the shelf off, and mine just kind of tilt up and pull right out. And it makes a huge difference because we're constantly buying different foods and having company, having different needs, having different leftovers. So give it a try. And let's see what else I had for you. Here's another one. Sometimes we buy a big package of something. Example, I used to buy yogurt in this huge box. Don't keep that big box in there if you only have a couple things left in that box. Go ahead and take the things out of the container and get rid of the bulky packaging. So that's another tip. And also, don't be afraid to store things in a different spot than is conventional for your refrigerator. Make the refrigerator space work for you, and put things maybe in an unconventional spot if it works better. Hey, Melody Little's on. We're talking about your refrigerator, Melody. So I hope I gave you some helpful tips. And if anybody has anything else to pop on there about refrigerators, go ahead. And we're going to move on to the next question that I had. This question was from Thrifty Tashi, and she wanted to know how to organize small spaces. And an example she gave was a laundry room or inside cabinets. So I thought we would delve into that next. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you, I learned from Fly Lady. So if anybody is a Fly Lady fan, give me a thumbs up. I have been a Fly Lady fan since probably maybe within the first year of when she started, and I'm going to guess that was that was the year 2000-ish. And she is an amazing lady, and she helps you with organizing and cleaning and so forth. And she taught me you cannot organize clutter. So the first thing I'm going to suggest if you have a small space is to go through your area and get the clutter out. And try to think about the space that you are trying to organize. What are you actually going to use that space for? What is the main purpose of the room? Then if you have items in that room that don't go along with your vision for the room, you need to find another place for them, if at all possible. And if there's something that's not serving you at all, get rid of it. I know that sounds hard, and I do struggle with that some, but I have been doing better in the last few years of letting go of things and realizing that I want something to serve me, and I don't want to take up space in my house if it's not serving me. Let's see. Ooh, I like that, Kimberly. Kimberly adjusts her shelves and she uses plastic placemats for the spills. That is genius. I love that. Okay. Yes, placemats. I love that. Melody, what do you think of the lining your refrigerator with placemats idea? Let me know what you think of that. Okay, so once you have the clutter out of your small space, whether it be your laundry room or a cabinet, the next thing I'm going to suggest is a principle that I also learned from somebody else, and that is the container principle. So here's how the container principle works. Say it's in a cupboard, which I do this in my pantry. I have plastic bins, and I have them labeled for what goes in there. And an example of that would be, let's say, tomato sauce and tomato paste. I have those in one bin together. And if the bin is full, I don't buy any more. It's very simple. I do it with my olives. I have a row of pickles, green olives, and black olives because we eat a lot of those. And once it's full, I know not to buy anymore. That's going to keep me for a while. But you can use it in all areas, not just in the kitchen or your pantry. It's great for kids too. You know how kids come with a lot of stuff and they love their little trinkets and so on? Go ahead and give them a container for whatever you're working with. When the container's full, they either need to get rid of something or they don't put anything new in the container, whatever category it is. So that's really helped me visually to see I don't need any more. I have enough of that item. So that's going to help in a small space. So I think I kind of touched on this. Don't store anything in that area that's not going to be used there. I understand some people have small spaces and they have to store things in unconventional ways, and that's okay if you have to. Another thing that's helped me, use as few products as you can and don't overstock them. So I like to have the product I'm using and one extra. I don't like to run out of things, but I don't need 10 extras. So that's going to cut down on some of your storage space as well, especially in a laundry room like Tashi asked about. Let's see. Okay, Debbie likes the placemat idea. Thank you, Kimberly, for that idea. That was great. Melody, mine is too small if I take a pick, but first I need to get rid of stuff. Okay, we get rid once a week. Should we do it more? You're talking about your refrigerator, I presume, Melody, that you get rid of things in your refrigerator once a week. I think that's great. That's what I do. And if if you're having trouble with things going bad, then you might want to do it more often, maybe twice a week. I hate to waste food. So we pay for the food, we should use it. So I would say if it's not getting done enough, just up it and do it twice a week. Okay, and I thought we'd talk about bathrooms too, because a lot of times our bathrooms are very small areas. And if we have a large family, it can be really hard to fit everything into the bathroom that we need in the bathroom. So I had read about this years ago, and I thought it was a great idea. And we did this when our kids lived at home. I have 3 children. And what we did was we gave them each a bin, and they were able to keep all of their personal supplies in there, makeup, things they wanted to use in the bathroom, whatever. And then they could take it back and forth to the bathroom. That helped in a couple ways. One, our cabinet didn't get overcrowded because it was small to start with. And 2, they have their own stuff, so nobody gets accused of taking their things. And then it just allows room for other things that we need to have in the bathroom, community things. So has anybody ever tried that? Okay, thanks, Melody. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Go love on that baby. Has anybody ever tried the bin, especially with kids? I don't think it would really be necessary if you only have 2 people in the house like we do now, but that's something I've implemented. And then another thing I do in our bathroom, we probably have more space than I would like to admit in the bathroom. It seems small to me, but if I buy something extra, like an extra mouthwash or extra razors for my husband, we have a linen closet right in the hallway, right around the corner from the bathroom, and I will stock our extras in there. So that's been helpful too. Okay, let me see if I made some notes here. I want to make sure I got everything. Okay, that's all I had for that. If you have anything that you wanted to add so we can learn from you, go ahead and put it in the comments. Next, I'm going to take a question from Denise Jordan. She is on 2 channels now. Denise Jordan of This and That, and YouTube Talk with Denise Jordan. So she had a question about notebooks and how to keep track of everything. This is something I've learned from my mom. She was the most organized person. She did all kinds of things when I was younger. In other words, she had projects going at the same time, and she kept on top of all of them. And I watched her organize and just learned it from her. So she was the superintendent of my Sunday school department when I was a little girl, and we had what they called Children's Day, and we had to get up and say a little part in front of everybody, in front of the whole church. I hated it. I was very, very shy, and she organized that whole program and pulled it off without a hitch. My throat's getting dry tonight. So what she did was she had a notebook or a folder for every project that she had going. Now, if you're a computer person and you do everything on the computer, that's fine. I'm not. I'm still old school, and I like to write things down. Okay, just catching up here. Oh, Tammy's a Sunday school teacher. That's awesome. Hi, Shanji. Thanks for joining in. Okay, Debbie's done bins and it works great. That's good to know. You had kids at home living with you, and you still have one. So, okay. So I brought some notebooks along here to the table tonight, and I thought this might help some of you. I have some YouTubers on this thing. I just came up with this idea recently, and it has organized me awesome for what videos are coming up, what collabs. It's just a notebook like this, a spiral notebook. It says challenges, collabs, and planning sheets. All I did was I made a page for each video that I have coming up. So I just wrote it at the top, and then I wrote all my notes for that video. I didn't do it all at the same time. I just put different pages for each one. Some of the things I wrote down was the name of the collab or the name of the video if it was my own personal video. The title, I guess that's the same thing. No, actually, that's the title that I'm going to use. What I was going to put in the description box, if there was anything I needed to note, things I needed to do, such as mention the host, mention the playlist, show the process if it was a craft, the date, what time it was going to be posted. And then I put some items and put a little line by it so it could check it off, add to playlist, add channels to playlist, post to Instagram, post to Facebook. So I can be planning multiple videos at one time for my channel. And that was just a breakthrough for me. I just love this. And something that I want to say about notebooks that's going to organize your life is most of the time when I'm unorganized and I can't find something, it's when I've written it on a single sheet of paper and it just gets lost in the house. But if I have it on a notebook that's labeled on the front, I know where to go to look for it. So what do you guys think of that? Okay, let's see. Okay, Shanji, you like that idea. Good. I hope it's helpful because it's really made me feel on top of things. I also do a planner so I can see all of my videos lined out with the dates and times and limited info, but this is more of an actual checklist type thing. Sometimes I even put on the opposite page music I'm consider using as I go down through it, because sometimes I'll decide on music and then I forget the name of it and I can't find it again. So that's helped a lot. Hi, Rachel. I'm so glad you joined me. I was in Berlin area today in Amish country and I thought of you. I was in Walnut Creek and Weinsberg, I think. So how are you doing? Good to see you. Okay, yeah, she has a hard time keeping track of the club and challenges. And Kimberly loves it too. Now, here's the thing that I wanted to mention about it. So I had a page for each date. Obviously, I put them in order. If I don't know what I'm doing on that date, but I know I'm posting a video, just put the date. Now, there was actually 2 videos that I thought I was going to participate in. Guess what? I didn't. May 25th, it's blank. And May 27th, it's blank because I decided it wasn't best for me to participate in those. But you know what? I wasted 2 pieces of paper. That's it. But I had that placeholder just in case. Now, if you like, and you're the type that would rather just use a notebook, like a 3-ring notebook, and then you can put the pages in and out. If you decide not to do that collab, just take it out if that would be better for you. Okay. All right, Tammy likes that idea too. This one is a 3-ring notebook, and I do a lot of crafts. If you watch my channel, you've probably seen some of my DIYs. If there's any crafters out there, put a thumbs up so I know. I don't know if this is anything you'd be interested in. Sorry, there's a glare. But my different patterns that I want to use again, I just put them in a sheet protector and slap them in the 3-ring notebook. That way I don't waste ink printing out a pattern again, and I don't have to redesign it if I've lost the pattern. So let me know if that sounds good to anybody. I have something exciting coming up in my life. Kitchen remodel. So I chose the color of the notebook as yellow because I want my kitchen walls to remain yellow. They are yellow now. So that's another step, another notch up you can do with your organizing with notebooks. You can color code them to mean something to you. So I don't want a bunch of scraps of paper all over the house. What was the name of that plumber? Where did I get that sample? Everything is going to go in my notebook. You could use this for any project. I have down contacts. I have down a list for my husband to do. I have a list for myself to do. And then I have questions for my friend who's helping me. And I'm sure I'll add many more pages. And this may expand into a 3-ring notebook. But just think about the possibilities of a simple notebook per project or a file folder per project. This could simplify your life. I never dread doing my taxes. Every new year, I take my labeler and I print out a label, taxes 2020. All year long, I just tuck in any receipts I need or anything that comes in the mail towards tax time. It goes in that folder and it's all there, ready to go. So that's another idea. Now, this notebook is rather thick. This could be helpful to some of you too. This is what I call the household notebook. When we had the kids at home, they all knew what the household notebook was. My husband knows what the household notebook is. It looks like it needs cleaned out maybe, but I'll just flip through. Let me turn it the right way. I'm going to flip through and give you some ideas. You can personalize this for yourself. Again, having everything in here that you need, it's going to change your life. It changed mine. I have in the front some booklets of instructions, like for my rice maker. I never remember how many cups of water, how many cups of rice. I don't want to look that up every time. So I slapped it into a plastic sheet holder right there. I have different household things that I make, such as wrinkle release spray. I have the recipe for that, carpet spot treatment, things like that. I have our gym schedule, pop that in there. Let's see. I have Giant Eagle, what gift cards they have that you can buy there, our local grocery store. I went so far as when the kids were young, I kept this. I had different ideas for meals I might want to make. When the kids were at home, I had a sports section with the little tabs. I kept all of their schedules in for their sports games. I kept a tab for different things we might want to do in the future for entertainment. I kept a doctor tab. Any sheets that we had for future appointments went right in there. And then I had a miscellaneous tab in the back. And I keep this still, even though we could do it on our phone, restaurant menus. So the cool thing about the household notebook is you put in it what you need to run your household. And something I didn't mention, but if you get invited to a wedding or a graduation party, I just tuck mine in the front so that I can just pull it open. There's a little pocket in the front and pull out the invitation after I put it on my calendar. So does anybody think that would be something that would be helpful for them? Debbie likes it. Okay, that's really saved my life. And it's funny because I would say to the kids, put it in the household notebook or look in the household notebook. They'd be running around frantic to find something. And my husband, he will say to me, did you look in the household notebook? So it's just a common thing at our house. Okay, Tammy loves the notebook. Okay, thank you, Tammy. So you get the idea with that. And for Denise, I'm not sure exactly what you wanted. I don't know if you're watching, Denise, but you might see the replay. If not, I'm not sure exactly what you wanted, but I'm thinking maybe you were wanting to help keep track of our collabs and stuff like that. So you might want to do a 3-ring notebook and just put sheets in for each YouTube talk, put a date at the top and put your notes in, and then you can flip it through and refer to it when you're writing up the collab list. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Thanks for coming on. Good to see you. Yeah, just let your imagination go wild. If you're a folder type of person, you can use vanilla folders. If you're a cutesy notebook person, it makes it more fun to organize when you have a cute notebook, right? Get a cute notebook for your project. I did that for both of our daughters' weddings. I had a notebook for each of them. Like I said, I've done it for taxes. We like to think we're a paperless society, but I'm just not there. Okay, thanks, Kimberly. I'm so glad you came on. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Cutesy notebook person. Okay, Rachel. I have 2 daughters that are that way. I actually prefer a cutesy notebook too. One more notebook and then I'll be done on that. But I do have a notebook for holidays. I've had the same notebook. It's a notebook like this, but it's adorable. It's got something cute on it. I brought that one down to show you. I just make a page for every holiday. I write it at the top like Christmas 2020. I look at Christmas 2019 because I've been doing this for years. What did I make? Do I want to make that again? Do I want to add something new? Just write over the menu again. Who came? How much food we needed? Easy peasy. I never have to sit and think, what should I make for Christmas? What should I make for Thanksgiving? It's all right there in the notebook. Oh, okay. Shanji uses the Happy Planner. I've heard of that. That sounds like fun. Okay, I think I've told you all of my notebook ideas. Let me check my note. Yep, I went over everything on there. Okay, my last question that I had that was asked ahead of time is about the junk drawer. So if you have any questions, we have plenty of time. It's only 7:30, so I can probably answer some questions on the fly here. If you have a question, put it down below. Sister Cousins Lifestyle, hi there. Let me know your name down below in the comments. And thanks for joining us. This question is about the junk drawer, and it's from Nicole from Nesting Haven. Hi, Sandy. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to talk about junk drawers. So does everybody have one? Yes, no? And let me know if it's in your kitchen. That's where mine is. Or if you have them in other rooms, what rooms? I'm just curious. The first thing I want to give you a tip on is I don't really think of it as a junk drawer. I think of it more as an essentials drawer. What do I need in that room that I want to organize in a nice manner so I can find it? Okay, Teresa's is in the kitchen and she has one. And Sandy's is in the kitchen and it's a mess right now. Okay, I have some tips for you. So I do call it the junk drawer, but I guess in my mind, I don't really think of it as a junk drawer because it's totally organized and I'm able to keep it that way. My first tip is, like I said, don't think of it as a junk drawer. Think of it as an essentials drawer or a staging drawer for your task that you need to get done. Because if you think of it as a junk drawer, you're just going to throw stuff in there. And you need to have a plan, and you need to have specified spots for it to work and to stay organized. So every inch of my junk drawer has a section, and it's divided. The main part of it is one of those trays that you buy at an office supply place that has all the little compartments. And then I also fit together the drawer like a puzzle so that there's not any empty space. I have every inch of it covered with some type of container. And then I put all of my things in the slots where they fit, kind of like a puzzle. And it's a designated spot. I think that's the biggest thing you need to take away is make a container, make a plan where you're going to put stuff. And then if you have containers that maybe there is a little bit of space and they slide around, you can use poster tack, or I call it sticky tack, and stick it on the bottom to keep your drawer divider in place. So does anybody else love sticky tack as much as I do? I love it for so many things, and I actually keep it in my junk drawer. So divide out your sections, and then let's see. This, I think, is the next key. You need to purge it often. And I have been known to pull out the drawer, put down an old towel or an old sheet, plunk down in front of the TV or YouTube, and clean out the drawer. And I do it quite often because if you don't, it just takes over. So that's my next tip. Purge often. Do something fun. It's pretty mindless. Get you a bottle of cleaner and a rag. Take everything out onto the old towel. Clean it down and put it back in. Get rid of the stuff you don't need anymore. So I think I pretty much said that. Resist the urge to use the drawer as a catch-all. So let me know if you think that's helpful at all. Okay. So Sandy says that's a good idea to use the sticky tape. Yeah, it's actually sticky tack. It might be called poster putty in some places, and you actually knead it with your fingers to get it soft, and then just pull off some, and it helps things stick together. Rachel said she likes thinking of it as an essential drawer, and you think your drawer is too small. Okay. Is there something that you could take out of it and put elsewhere, or is there another drawer you might be able to divide into so that you have two essential drawers? I don't know if that's an option. But I have things in my junk drawer like tape, sticky tack. I have paper clips, rubber bands, twist ties. I have Post-its. I love Post-its. A ruler. I kind of put the ruler along the side so I can reach in real easy and pull that out. And I have a stick of glue, things like that. And I have a little basket. You might like this idea, Rachel. I'm a big Longaberger basket fan. Has anybody heard of Longaberger baskets? They're actually made in Ohio. So maybe you've heard of them, maybe not. They used to have home parties. But you could use any type of basket to put on the wall. And I put my pencils, pens, markers, scissors, and letter opener in that. So that might free up some space if you're using those type of items in your junk drawer. Anything that you want to be super handy, that you don't even want to have to open the drawer, maybe put it in a little organizer on a counter or in a basket on the wall. This basket has little dividers in it. So what do you guys think of that? Okay. Alrighty, so I think I covered all the questions that I had presented to me so far. Let me double check my little list. I have a notebook for that, you guys. Oh, here it is. Had to get the right notebook. So we went over small spaces, a notebook question, small refrigerators, and junk drawers. Okay. Okay, Rachel, you like that idea? Yeah, that would be my best suggestion. You're either going to have to get rid of something or put it elsewhere, because if you keep fighting against it, it's just not going to work with this small space. Okay. If anybody else has anything they want to chat about, you can put it in the box there. Oh, Rachel went to the Longaberger factory back in the day. So did I. For those of you who have never heard of Longaberger baskets, they used to be sold through home parties, and they would send out brochures, kind of like a catalog with all the new baskets in the mail. And I would literally read that from cover to cover and drool over it and try to decide which new basket I was going to get. Oh, thank you, Teresa. And this is a fun fact for you. My husband used to work at the Longaberger factory. And now it wasn't the one in Dresden, it was the one in Hartville. And he used to cut the wood into strips for the weavers to weave into baskets. And when I met him, he had purchased several baskets for his mom. And so I was so impressed that he had worked there. And he had an appreciation for Longaberger baskets, and they were quite expensive. And he let me buy whichever ones I want. He didn't care. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me. I'm going to probably be doing this maybe once a month. And so if you have any questions, I'll have different spots you can put them up in. You can put them on my Instagram, or I do have a community tab now, you guys. Yay! And I always put a little blurb in there about it ahead of time, let you know when it's going to be, so you can put questions there. And you can always put them on this video because I'll check my comments and see them. Rachel, thanks. That is a fun fact. So this is Wednesday. Friday, I will have a thrift haul for you. I went thrifting, and then I also went to a tag sale. Does anybody on here like to thrift? And what's your favorite place to thrift? I love the tag sales lately. They're like an estate sale, and I've been finding some really awesome items. And then the next Wednesday, if any of you like to thrift and you have things that you want to share, I'm having my second collab ever. And the collab is going to be with Yvonne of Ginger Chick Rehab. And we are going to share 5 things or more that we thrifted that we use every day. So it's an open collab. If you do like to thrift and you have 5 things or more that you want to share, check out my invite collab and you can find out all the details. I would love to have you join me. So I will link my very first live Q&A about organization in the description box for you if you missed that and you want to watch it. And I will also list the collab invite so that you can see that as well. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Oh, good, Rachel. That's awesome. Yeah, if you'd like to participate, it's going to be really fun. So check out the invite video. I would love to have you participate if you want to. Okay, well, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And check back with me on Friday for my thrift haul. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.